Hi there and welcome. My name is Cindy May and I own and operate a marketing agency, Cindy May Marketing. We specialize in marketing for nonprofits and have been doing so for over a decade. Today, I'm here to talk to you about activating the power of publicity. Specifically, I'm going to share with you our proven process for pitching your press release so that you get free media coverage, otherwise known as publicity. And here's the good news. It's not as hard as you might think, but it does require some time and attention to put the power of publicity to work for your business or organization. I'm going to break out the pitching process for you in 4 simple steps and provide you details about a must-have tool you can create and use to make the pitching process that much more successful. But let's start first talking a little bit about what publicity really is and the value of it. Publicity is media attention for your product, your service, your business, or your organization. It can include traditional news sources like news shows and newspapers, and new media like podcasts and blogs and social media and websites. Publicity creates public awareness for yourself, your business or organization or your brand, as well as awareness about your product or service that can be generated for free, meaning you aren't buying advertising time or space. So the value is no-cost advertising, but more than that, publicity helps to raise the profile of your business or organization. It's what can help catch the attention of the public to amplify awareness and add credibility to the work that you are doing. The challenge, however, is in today's fast-paced media environment, how do you get the media's attention? I can tell you for certain, not much is going to come from a few releases sent now and again about your latest initiative, grand opening, new hire, or upcoming event. Those will be hit or miss pickups, and honestly, it's how most businesses and organizations do it. But the bigger issue with that approach is that it annoys those folks in the media, the reporters and radio personalities who then begin to feel like, alrighty, just send me your release, the same one you're sending to everyone else when you want something, and maybe if I've got an open spot, I'll drop it in. The piece that so many people miss and then get called out on it by stakeholders or board members when press releases aren't picked up by the media, I'm sure you've heard it, they didn't see anything about such and such in the newspaper. Did you let them know? Well, it's the cultivation of relationships with influential people in the media that is being ignored. Those reporters and editors and radio personalities, bloggers, vloggers, content writers and producers of podcasts. These are the folks who can really draw attention to your cause and make publicity a powerhouse in generating awareness and credibility for the work that you're doing. But you first have to connect with them and make them feel appreciated and respected for the work that they're doing. Now I get it. You have lots of perfectly legitimate reasons for not doing this. You're buried in day-to-day operations and don't have time to focus on getting publicity coverage. You don't have those media contacts. The media folks in your area aren't really interested in the work of your business or organization, or you have no idea where to start. If you carry any of those sentiments, then this training is right where you need to be. Because cultivating media relationships doesn't have to be an intimidating, time-consuming project. And it doesn't involve you creating a huge presentation, scheduling a bunch of coffee chats, or doing hours of research. In fact, it can be as simple as sending an email. Now, I know what you're thinking. Really, Cindy, an email? That's going to do the trick? Well, yes. From my experience, it works, and here's why. It's a matter of meeting them where they're at. These media folks, whether they work for a printed publication or a podcast, a radio show, or a website, they are expected to produce ongoing, fresh content all the time. It's a machine that goes 24/7, 365, and it needs stories to feed it. They are more often than not sitting at a computer, scouring the net, looking for stories and headlines to feed the machine. Yes, their inboxes are flooded with press release pickup requests, but it's still a competitive market, and that brings 2 important factors into play. Number one, they want and need good stories so that their work stands out from the crowd. And number two, they want to be valued and appreciated for their work. So, how is an email pitch from you going to help them achieve that? Well, there is so much doom and gloom to be reported on every day. Pandemics, economic crisis, highly contentious politics, natural disasters, and civil unrest, just to name a few. And reporters know everyone is looking for something that restores our faith in humanity. They know that amid all the contentious, hard-hitting media they report on, people want to know about the good things happening too. Those who are doing the good work in the world and making an impact and a positive difference. In short, the media wants to share your good stories of impact. But to the second point about being valued and appreciated for their work, they don't want to feel like just because you have a good story to share and would like some good old publicity, they should be expected to cover it. They could very well go to Google, find a good news story that they find intriguing, send an email or give a call, do a quick interview, and write a story that makes them feel valued, appreciated, and respected for their work. So, to address that gap in just sending a mass email to all reporters with a media release attached and a quick, here you go, thanks for sharing, like most people do, and don't get picked up because it's really cold and disrespectful, here's how to make your email pitch align with what the media wants and needs. Just 4 simple steps. Step number 1, do a little research. Figure out who you want to send your email to. If it's a local publication or newscast, find out who's on your beat, meaning the person responsible for coverage related to your topic. If it's a bigger or more specialized outlet, determine the reporter or the writer or the editor who's the best fit for you. Then check out their work and make notes of content that you like or that you found helpful. I'll explain how that fits in a little later when you're reaching out directly. Step number 2, figure out what you can bring to the party. What is it that you can uniquely speak to that would inspire their audiences and make you a good resource for that reporter? Or what story can you suggest the reporter might want to write? This helps define a more targeted and specific approach to your content that will pique the interest of the writer because it's different. It's part of the process of developing what we call your pitch angle. Step number 3, craft an awesome subject line. This is such a key and critical step in the email pitching process. Do not dismiss it. It's what will help you stand out from the numerous generic emails media outlets receive every day. Again, in their fast-paced world, you need to make sure you get their attention. When you're pitching by way of email, your subject line is the first step in getting their attention. They need to see it, read it, and click to open it. That's priority number 1. So let me share some subject line tips that we use when we send email pitches. Location, location, location. If you are pitching a reporter you know covers a certain area and your story is based there, make sure to mention it in your subject line. ABC Charity CEO addresses homeless concerns in Newton. This will signal that you've done your research and know they cover this particular area. Curiosity. This is a case of less is more. Hinting at something but then leaving out the critical detail will generate an urge to learn more. Examples could be what we learned when this failed miserably, or NBA Center signs on to support local nonprofit. These are 2 subject lines that trigger a bit of curiosity that pretty much are begging to be opened. Urgency angle. A good way to do this is to use an embargo to announce something happening soon. Now, a lot of journalists aren't crazy about embargoes, but they do make for urgent subject lines. Including it in your subject line will signal that it's a big announcement and that they're getting a heads up. So just make sure your news is big enough to justify an embargo. Referral. If someone in your network suggests a particular reporter or editor, make sure to note that in the subject line. So for instance, John Smith recommended I get in touch. Straightforward. Being direct and straightforward is sometimes a good strategy too. Just be sure to be brief, 6 to 10 words, and get right to the point. Personal connection. Letting the correspondent know that you are familiar with their work. It's flattering and again will raise curiosity. Something like thoughts about your recent article on XYZ, or some feedback on your story and a question. Those are good examples. But here's an important thing to remember. No matter what approach you use, the content in the email itself should match the body of your email subject line. Don't be misleading or attempt to add clickbait to your subject line. It will only create mistrust on the part of the person that you're trying to develop a relationship with, and if you do that, you'll likely never get them to pay attention to your pitches again. Step number 4, strategically develop the body of your email. Now that you got them to open your email, now it's about keeping their attention. The key takeaway here is to be friendly, but get to the point quickly. No deep dive into the topic at this point. You want to quickly show how your business or organization's story fits into their body of work. Open with a personalized salutation with their name, no generics like "Dear Blogger" or "To whom it may concern." The key is building an individual relationship and letting them know right from the beginning, this is not a mass pitch. Briefly give information about yourself and your business or organization and why you might be an interesting person to interview, and sell your unique outlook or insights to an interesting topic. Or alternatively, explain why the media release you've included would make a good feature for them to expand upon. Remember where I said to make some notes about their work? This is where you can use that information to build rapport in your email by referring to their content and showing that you understand their audience and area of focus. Provide some key information, possibly bullet points on what could be featured, and conclude with a defined call to action of what you would like them to do next. And that's it. It's not all that complicated. If you spend just a little time following these 4 steps in developing an email pitch to get publicity coverage, you really could get some great media coverage that will help bring greater awareness, credibility, and support for your business or organization. I think that you'll actually find that it comes natural. As a business owner or a marketer or communications professional, you know the value of building and maintaining relationships. You do it with your customers and clients and donors all the time. It's really just the same thing, only your audience in this particular space are people in the media. So give it a try. Maybe ease into it. Start small, gain some confidence, establish media relationships, and then go big. Maybe the first personalized outreach is to the person who writes about community events. Introduce yourself and attach a press release on your upcoming event or fundraiser. Then reach out to a monthly publication and test if there's interest in doing a feature about your business or cause. Is there a local radio show in your area? They probably are anxious to book guests and are looking for leaders in the community who are working to make conditions better. You have a lot of wonderful stories to share. How and why your business or organization got started. Stories about successful clients or customers. The details of your latest initiative or new product. You could also offer your expertise on the larger cause your nonprofit addresses or purpose of your product or business so that these content creators can reach out to you when they need you. That's when you know the relationship is solid. When I get calls or emails directly from people in the media asking for stories or information about any of the nonprofit clients we serve, I know we've done a good job in building those all-important media relationships. And using the 4-step publicity outreach strategy that I just shared with you today, you can too. You can build and foster relationships that will benefit both your business or organization and the media outlet you are pitching. It's a win-win relationship you're working towards, and those are always the most rewarding, both personally and professionally. Know that you have something of value to share. It's not hype, it's not self-serving, and it's something that deserves to be shared with as many people as possible. Publicity is a powerful marketing tool, my friends. But there's one more piece that can help set up your digital pitch for success. It can be used as part of your initial pitch or after you get a reply from the person you're pitching saying, yes, we'd like to include you in our publication, website, podcast, or whatever medium you're pitching. It's something that will help both you and whomever is covering your story gather information and details so that the process goes smoothly and provides you with the best exposure. Plus, once you do this, you'll be set for a while. A few updates here and there, but all in all, it's a good marketing tool that you'll use over and over again as part of your publicity outreach efforts. So what is it? A digital media kit, also referred to as a press kit. It's simply a pre-packaged set of marketing materials that promote a person, a business, or a cause. And they are a great way to introduce and position your business or organization to people who may not be familiar with it, such as journalists or influencers or event attendees or prospective clients. A media kit is part of what can help you make a good first impression, which means the materials should make people want to learn more about who you are and what you're doing and answer the question, what do I need to know about this business or organization? While a media kit is a collection of information about a business or organization, not all media kits will look the same. In fact, a creative media kit that showcases the brand's personality is much more likely to do its job well and be more successful than a simple set of documents. So let's talk a little bit about the history of media kits to help put into perspective how important they really are and why you really should take the time to develop a media kit of your own. So in March of 2020, digital newsroom designer PR.co published an article tracing the evolution of media kits from the 1960s until today. When media kits were first developed, they were folders containing typed paper and black and white photographs. An Apple media kit from 1993 even included physical slides showcasing their latest technologies. Media kits used to be presented following a pitch at a press conference or other large event, but starting in the early 2000s, the best practice shifted to individual pitches via email. Today, most media kits are pitched via online newsrooms or a web page attached to a company's main site that features all the company's most relevant news and public relations information. Online newsrooms became best practice about 5 years ago, and they served as a replacement to PDF format media kits. So media kits that are live online newsrooms are easy to update, more user-friendly, and able to be indexed by search engines for more online visibility. But throughout the years, one thing has remained the same. The purpose of the media kit is to act as a one-stop shop of information for a journalist or media source to write a feature on the company. Okay, now that you know the importance of a media kit, let's talk about what should be included in your media kit. The options for customization for a media kit and additional information are nearly endless, but these pieces are a good place to start. An About section that describes the brand and the company's history. And just as an FYI, typically it's the About page that gets the most views on websites and in media kits. So it really is a great place to start. Contact information. How to get in contact with you, including a main media contact and a backup with email addresses, cell phone numbers, and links to social channels. You'd be surprised how many folks respond to pitches by way of text, so be sure to include a cell number. Statistics on the business or organization, including date launched, headquarters, employee count, customers served, and anything else that shows credibility in numbers or details. Links to and excerpts from press releases and big announcements that the company has made. This is one of the ways you can leverage publicity. Anything from the past can be used in the future. Media assets, including your logo, branding guidelines, headshots, screenshots from your website, and even videos. Mission and vision statements, and an opt-in form. This is something that is often overlooked, and from personal experience, I can tell you it's really important to include in your digital media kit. Providing reporters the opportunity to get on your email list to stay up to date and informed about what you're doing can sometimes get you publicity coverage without pitching. Believe me, it's happened to us many times and it is awesome. Like I said earlier, you have so many options to be creative and customize your media kit. These are just a few of the essentials that I would suggest that you would use. And if you'd like my full press room checklist, you can download it for free by going to cindymaymarketing.com/blog/42, or listen to my podcast, episode 42 of Smart Marketing for Small Nonprofits. I've got more details about setting up an online press room with some examples if that would be helpful for you. So with the information I've just shared with you here, I hope you'll give it a go. Make that email pitch. It's not hard. Just follow the 4 steps I shared with you. Develop a media kit so you've got what you need to follow through on the pitch with credibility and influence, and you'll be amazed at what comes your way. Because when you secure coverage from a local news organization or a magazine or a podcast or content site, it's like placing a megaphone in your hands. The story about your business or organization and the impact you're making reaches a much wider audience. And that means you'll get to touch even more people's lives with your good work. I hope you found this information useful. Like I said at the beginning, getting publicity coverage doesn't have to be difficult. It's just a matter of strategically approaching the process with the intention of building relationships first and then getting publicity coverage. Once you do that, the likelihood of getting your press release picked up each time you make a pitch increases exponentially. Not to mention the fact that you get to make some great contacts and even some great friends, even if it's just a friendship from afar. We work with many reporters and writers that are now Facebook friends and text buddies, which is pretty awesome. Business isn't just business. That's my belief. Publicity is powerful, especially if it's rooted in everyone working together to help one another out. I wish you all the best. Now, go start something.